This video was brought to you with the help of Mickey, who works in the environmental field in Illinois. He helped me put together the information for this one. Thank you as always, Mickey. You can hear Mickey's perspective and analysis on different climate issues at our weekly climate book club. More information about that book club can be found in the description box below. Hey y'all, it's Becky here from the Beckisphere and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Becky and I talk about the climate here. The problems, yes, but the solutions, yes. Today, we are going to talk about hydrogen power. So let's go ahead and just get right into it. Today, I'm going to give you an overview of hydrogen power because I feel like this is another form of energy generation and storage that's only growing in popularity. George W. Bush called it freedom fuel, while Elon Musk declared it mind-bogglingly stupid. So there's a little bit of a stretch in what people think about it. Hydrogen, as many of you know, is one of the most common and simple molecules out there. There are many different ways hydrogen is produced, each expressed as a color. The most common form of hydrogen production is called black or brown hydrogen, which comes as a byproduct of coal. The second most common is gray hydrogen, which comes as a byproduct of natural gas. Two quickly growing hydrogen sources are blue hydrogen, well, kind of growing because blue hydrogen comes from a natural gas plant that captures and stores carbon, which technically doesn't really exist yet. And there's green hydrogen, which is made via an electrolyzer powered by renewable energy. The cool thing about pairing hydrogen production with renewable energies is that capturing hydrogen is like putting the energy generated back into a jar. Therefore, fuel cells can also be used as energy storage systems for renewable energy to flatten out those ebbs and flows that come with wind and solar production. With renewable energy, hydrogen itself is a completely clean form of energy, heat, and energy storage. Predominantly, hydrogen is being used for fertilizer, which we won't really get into in this video, and fuel cells, or as Elon Musk calls them, fuel cells. He's really having fun with this one. Fuel cells use a consistent influx of hydrogen and oxygen to cleanly produce energy and water vapor. Fuel cells have the potential to drop charging times of electric vehicles and take up less space than battery systems. They are also useful when looking at long-haul trucks, ships, and airplanes because they're smaller, lighter, and more dense than batteries. The more energy you require, the heavier naturally the battery gets. There is a thing though. Infrastructure for this technology is woefully underprioritized. Most charging stations are in Europe and a bit in Asia, and in the US, all but one hydrogen charging station is in California. Despite this, some car companies are making hydrogen cars, but without the infrastructure, this isn't really an encouraged trend. Hydrogen fuel cells also carry only a quarter of the energy per unit volume of natural gas. Hydrogen itself embrittles metal and it can escape through the tiniest leaks, so much more research needs to be done to avoid that. This and the need for hydrogen to be compressed are reasons why hydrogen infrastructure is so expensive. It's kind of advanced technology. Green hydrogen fuel cells only provide 30% of the electricity it takes to provide that option, compared to 90% for batteries. What I'm saying is that hydrogen is a much more indirect way of using electricity, which is why there's some detractors like Elon Musk to the idea. But if the prices go down in the creation of hydrogen infrastructure thanks to an increase of demand and interest, we could have an industry option to get either an electric vehicle or a hydrogen one, because they're kind of for different purposes. Hydrogen might be better for long trips or heavy loads, and electric vehicles might be better for the wallet and for daily commutes. I don't know, let me know which one you would choose if you had the option of choosing either hydrogen or electric, assuming that the prices were comparable, which at the moment they're not. Future cost of green hydrogen power is then driven by four main factors: the cost of renewable electricity, the capacity factor at which the plants run, the cost of electrolyzers, which is how hydrogen is produced via renewable energy, and the cost of capital and infrastructure, which we talked about is a lot. And before I continue, I want to take a moment and dispel a common concern surrounding hydrogen. That is, worrying about repeating the Hindenburg fire. Yes, hydrogen is flammable, but do you know what else is flammable? Gasoline. Actually, gasoline is more flammable, but more importantly, hydrogen only becomes flammable in an enclosed space, like a blimp. Because hydrogen molecules are so much lighter than air, hydrogen rises and disperses too fast to cause a fire on its own. So, just wanted to disperse that problem. Different countries have plans to increase their fleet of renewable cells. In the US, President Biden dropped a fact sheet on Earth Day laying out what actions the Department of Transportation, Department of Energy, and the General Services Administration plan to enhance electric vehicle infrastructure. And hydrogen was brought up as a fuel to be built around, though it wasn't really as prioritized as EVs were. Yesterday, Utah's largest coal-fired plant, Intermountain Power Project, said that they were converting the Delta coal plant into green hydrogen and natural gas over the next 4 years, starting in 2022. Which to me sounds actually more like gray or blue hydrogen because natural gas is involved, not green, but all the resources are listed below, so if you check out that article and you see something I don't, please correct me because, I don't know, it just sounds like it's actually like blue or gray. It's not really that surprising that fossil fuel companies are shifting to hydrogen because it's a trend that we are starting to see worldwide, and it's because fossil fuel companies can easily get hydrogen from their current product and then kind of clean their reputation. But detractors are kind of not happy with that because it is giving fossil fuel industries an out. I'm personally surprised because the only way for fossil fuel companies to create green hydrogen, like actually green hydrogen, is not to get it from fossil fuels. So this method would only work if they completely transition to renewable energy, or just, I guess, claim to go for blue hydrogen via carbon capture and storage instead, which again, kind of doesn't really exist yet. Honestly, I can easily see fossil fuel companies using the term green hydrogen even when it's not green, like greenwashing the technology. And apparently I'm not the only one that thinks that. Australia has been in the news lately for emphasizing hydrogen power in their Australia's Smart Energy Council. They announced that the zero carbon certification scheme would be applied, and really the scheme only promised to use actual green hydrogen or deal with green hydrogen. The advisor, Scott Hamilton, said, "We don't want potential greenwashing or blurring of what is green and what is not." So straight up. So maybe that could be applied for other countries like the US too. Also, just this week, the Omani oil company OQ announced they're going to build a 25 gigawatt wind solar complex to produce green hydrogen to either be used on site, converted to green ammonia, which is common in the fertilizer, or export it. It would be one of the largest green hydrogen facilities in the world and could possibly help catalyze hydrogen energy use by boosting the supply. By the way, if you follow the stock market, which I don't, probably should, consider investing in Plug Power, Hyundai, and Cummins Inc. as soon as you can, because according to oilprice.com, those stocks are going to blow up at any minute. In summary, hydrogen fuel cells can make a vehicle go for longer with a smaller, lighter system, but the infrastructure to support mass use of this technology is still way under implemented. It might be the answer to ships, large trucks, and airplanes who can't rely on batteries because they're too heavy at the size they need to provide energy for those large machines. To paraphrase Bill Gates in How to Avoid a Climate Disaster, electrify everything you can and figure out fuel alternatives for the rest. I think hydrogen fuel cells will play an important role in powering vehicles that have to carry heavy things for a long way, in my opinion. I don't see them beating out everyday EVs like some people predict, but if the price drops, then it could just split the market. Until then, invest in stocks and consider yourself buying a hydrogen power car if you for your next vehicle purchase, if you have the money to spend, because they are like twice as expensive as the lowest price of EV out there. And if you live next to one of the few areas with easy access to fuel stations, so basically California, parts of Europe, and parts of Asia. And if you want to deep dive further into hydrogen power, I'll link the playlists for Just Have a Think and Engineering with Rosie down below, because they are way better at talking shop than I am. And I hope you found this interesting. Please let me know in the comments below what you originally thought about hydrogen and if your mind has changed since watching this video. And without further ado, I will not have a video next week because I'm going camping, but I will see you all soon in the Beckosphere. Bye.